Purdue, the magnificent, the one and only. Where do you live?
Drum roll.
In Denver. Magnificent Denver resident, Morgan Jenkins.
Well, I've been blessed to join these two in the legislative committee last year, and what an exciting year it was. I was brand new baby, and wait a second, we go to the Capitol? Hey, I have to be ready, and I have to leave an hour early because I have no idea what I'm doing. And there was just all this energy and emotion, and I don't know if you've spent any time in the Capitol and thinking about the significance of the building and who has used that building and what they've done in it leading up to this moment. And here I am now walking these steps to go do the same thing and use my voice. And never have I ever felt so powerful using my voice to accomplish something. And we won. That felt really, really good. And so how? Now we've got the what we did, why we do it, and now I got the task to help you know how to do it. So I'm here, I'm thinking about this, and I'm like, well, we're kind of at the end of the day and whatnot, but now I've watched all these incredible people speak for the last 2 days, and so I'm fired up. So first off, you gotta be prepared. So nothing that you do in life goes very well if you're not prepared. And preparation for a bill or going to talk to your legislator looks like doing your research. So who are your people? Know who they are, know their names, their districts. Did you vote for them? Are they Republican? Are they Democrat? What side of the line are they on? That helps a tremendous amount when you're wondering what how you're gonna craft what you're gonna say to them. It doesn't matter what side of the line you're on, you just need to know how they think and then reach them through how they would think about the problem. As Corky said, they don't know what we do. Assume they don't know what we do. So when you get in there using things like LTAC and AL and IL and SNF is not gonna work. You have to avoid jargon. You need to speak to them as they might be one of your clients or one of your new families that's walking in. You start throwing lingo around and they're gonna leave the building physically, or they're just gonna start paying attention to something else. So you have to keep it on their level and assuming they don't know anything. So you have to have a really clear message. A clear message in your letters that you're sending to them, because that's your first step. You don't just walk in and testify. You have to prepare them. They have to know who's coming. They have to be like, oh, it's Corky, he's coming, and I know he's gonna be prepared. And that's what he did for us, and he taught us how to do this preparation. So that looks like a clear message. What are we trying to accomplish? What do we need? What is the outcome that we need? And what's the significance? What are the solutions? So nobody wants to hear whining and complaining. You can say what the problem is, but you better be ready with a solution. So that's the next step. After you have that, you have to be ready with counter arguments. What are they gonna say, or what are they thinking to maybe dissolve what you are trying to say, to dilute it, to think, oh, it's not that important or that significant. Be ready with that too. So one thing that's really helpful, you draft your letters, you send it off, okay, it's big day, you're testifying in front of the House or the Senate, have a fact sheet. So something you've prepared ahead of time, perhaps you've already emailed this to your senators, maybe 2 or 3 times. You know, you really gotta get that message in because you want them to know it's you that's coming and what you're ready to say. And you have to, this might seem silly, but you have to be prepared to ask for what you want. I want you to vote no, I want you to vote yes. You have to tell them exactly what you want in your message, because you might get up there and get impassioned and you have 2 minutes and it's gonna fly, and then you get done and you're like, oh, did I tell them that I was opposed or for it? Did they get that from my message? I'm not even sure. So it's really important to make sure you tell them what action. Senator Joe, I need you to say no on House Bill such and so forth. So you've got your message, you're clear, you're concise, you're ready, you're prepared. Practice. You have to go in front of the mirror, in front of your friends, in front of a video, and practice your testimony. 2 minutes flies by. And if you're sitting there, and I say 2 minutes because most often if you're testifying in front of a committee, they give you, and there's clocks everywhere and you can watch it counting down and you're looking at the room and you start to sweat and you're wondering if you're getting your message across, and then it's over, and then you want to stammer and try to talk over them, which is what all the people we were challenging did. They went, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes over, and they let them, and I'm a rule follower, and that was really hard for me. I know that our group didn't do that because we were ready. We were ready with our message because we'd practiced it, and we were ready to tell them. And we were impassioned because it meant so much to us. So each and every one of us, in going in front of our legislators, it doesn't really matter what it is. If you're there to talk to a legislator, there's something that you're representing that you feel very passionately about. And so the best way to convey that, to get into somebody's heart and really grab onto it and let them know what you're trying to say, is to tell them a story. So make it personal. Make them see your grandma and having her name sold online and her phone ringing a million times. Who did the dementia training? When the dementia submersion, when the phone rang, did it not just freeze you when someone's living like that and their phone is ringing off the hook because someone sold their information to an online platform? I mean, that's horrific. And you could talk about that. I'm a caregiver for my husband, and every time the phone rings, it's so startling to him that he's upset for the next 2 hours. So when you say something like that to a senator or a legislator, you might reach them because they might be able to relate to that, and then they remember you, and then they think that's wrong, and I'm gonna do whatever they've asked me to do. So it's really important to be prepared to tell stories. And you want to address them, of course, in a respectful tone. I don't think anyone here would ever do anything but that. But in being respectful, you also have to be persuasive. So you say, come on, let's go to the store. Or do you say, I have an idea. Why don't we get a little something at the store for lunch, something for dinner, and we'll walk down there, it'll be great, it's so sunny out. And then you ask that person, they're like, yeah, I'm coming with you. That sounds great. Just what you told me, instead of just saying it, but you said it in a way that sort of drew them in and pulled them along, then they're engaged with you. I also think that what you can do besides the personal stories and the testimony is to really look them in the eye. And so not just looking them in the eye, but actually seeing them. How old are they? Do they have older parents? You're seeing, you're talking to them. Are you picking up their body language while they're talking to you? Are they shifting uncomfortable? Are they staring up? These are all tones that you can remember and record as you're giving your testimony. There's a lot going on, but the way somebody reacts to your testimony can give you a lot of insight into what they're thinking at that moment and help you prepare. Like in 2020, they didn't have to do it once, they had to do it twice. And that would be terrifying, and I'm glad we didn't. But they were able to take that experience, that reaction, what they learned, who said what, all the information gleaned from the secret little text message that the lobbyists were getting, because that happens too, and draft that into a whole new fact sheet or a whole new way to reach the audience to further drive the point home. So know your audience, know your legislators. Like I said before, are they Republican? Are they Democrat? Why are they there? Are they on a certain committee? Are you in front of just a legislator, or are you testifying in front of a committee? And then what do each of these people represent? Maybe we have some small town, maybe we have some city, it's kind of a mix. Know their background, where they're coming from, and how this applies to their counties, their districts, their cities, so that when you're speaking to them, you're acknowledging and seeing them. Then don't wait to connect. We talked about connecting before. You have to connect after. You have to say thank you, and mean it, because you are thankful that we have this really incredible democratic process. Who gets to, in other countries, march into their state capitol and speak their mind on a microphone with a captive audience who then might be persuaded by what you say? That's the coolest thing ever. talk about using your voice. I do not want to hear a single complaint from a single person who says, oh, well, you know, it's not like I can do anything about it, because that's not true. That's not true, and I hope everybody here today is inspired to feel like, you know what? I'm gonna get me my cute outfit on and I'm gonna practice my speech and I'm gonna go down there and I'm gonna tell them, because it's important to me and my loved ones and my business, and I want them to hear me because I have something to say.